An ultimate phase exists within female mental growth that reshapes every element of her existence on earth. Only a handful attain it. Even fewer grasp the shift once achieved. It transcends years lived, successes earned, or outward markers. Instead, a deep inner change occurs, making the emerging individual unfamiliar to former acquaintances. Which level did Jung outline that so many avoid venturing into? For what reason do females attaining it abruptly seem baffling, perhaps intimidating to relatives, companions, and former groups? Our content examines the peak level of female awareness, shifting her from an entity easily anticipated and managed to one labeled risky without clear explanation. If this sparks your curiosity about hidden depths of the mind, hit subscribe now to Wake and Win and join thousands awakening to true potential. Don't miss the revelations that could transform your path forever. This alteration doesn't happen overnight. It stems from a quiet voyage across awareness strata that the majority shun exploring. Perhaps you spot echoes of this route in your life or among females nearby who unexpectedly grew puzzling to kin, mates, and prior networks. Their dread focuses not on her actions, rather on what she ceased performing, what she quit feigning, what she no longer endured. Jung charted this progression via his idea of the anima, the female model advancing across clear phases, each showing a unique link between a female and her inner strength. Yet most overlook this key point. The summit phase concerns not acquiring dominance over people. It involves halting the surrender of it. In a society reliant on females' participation in their reduction, this ranks as the ultimate peril conceivable. The trek starts with what Jung termed Eve, the initial phase. There, female remains bound by natural drives and societal duties. Parent, spouse, nurturer, reliable, practical, harmless to the framework shaping her. During this period, she poses no threat since her being stays confined to norms unchallenging the existing order. Schopenhauer portrayed the drive as an unseen energy flowing via us absent aware guidance. Within the Eve phase, female experiences this essential energy via urges not truly personal, urges passed down, enforced, hereditary. She fulfills purposes predating her personal awareness. Imagine her navigating routines like a stream tracing a preset course. She nourishes, she tidies, she comforts, she reconciles. Her form recognizes these patterns prior to her thoughts challenging them. An odd ease exists here, a feeling of fitting into a greater entity. However, beneath ease, a murmur starts, an inquiry lacking terms. Does more await? The arousal commences not via defiance, but through a bodily feeling that something lies past the assigned position, a craving for an unnamed element. Yet the framework anticipates this craving. It provides another level, another restriction. Jung labeled this Helen, drawn from Helen of Troy. There female uncovers her worth via allure, captivation, the longing from another. She obtains influence, yet its reliant influence filtered by the outside view that affirms or rejects her. Lacan grasped that during this period, she persists solely when observed, wanted, esteemed. Herself forms via another's longing. She poses risk merely as enticement. However, she yet lacks ownership of self, yet fails to dwell in her core. This appears widespread. The female mastering environments, modifying her chuckle, positioning her features toward illumination. A true skill resides there, a endurance cleverness. She learns she may sway, draw, employ charm as trade in a realm granting scarce alternative trades. Yet this level's irritation surfaces over time. The influence derived from outside view can vanish instantly. Years advance, preferences alter, a fresher individual appears, and she comprehends she constructed her full value sense on shifting grains with each wave of group taste. The next level emerges seeking firmer ground. Jung named this Mary, the period of perfect virtue. Female pursues ethical flawlessness, soul cleanliness, the portrait of the virtuous female. She stifles her energy, her darkness, her fury, all that might tarnish the cleanliness portrait. Here risk turns inward. She splits self to evade, failing the perfection cast upon her. Alan Watts explained how we don soul disguises employing virtue as facade, while below simmers a quiet battle between true self and required appearance. During this period, she turns into the harmony keeper, ingesting her reality to preserve balance. The parent displaying no wariness. The companion eternally comprehending, eternally pardoning, eternally prioritizing others. She reflects, she contemplates, she assists, and per each self-denial deed, tension mounts. Jung knew that denied elements don't vanish. They descend to darkness growing thick and unstable. The unavoidable breakdown comes when suppressing personal reality grows harder than voicing its results. This marks where numerous tales on female arousal commence. Yet they often misinterpret the following. They envision uprising, clash, a theatrical casting aside of bonds. What truly transpires proves much finer and much more alarming. The fourth level, wisdom, concerns not outward uprising. It's an inward merging so thorough that it nullifies prior contests. The shift from Mary to wisdom frequently shows as turmoil, an instant when virtue enactment grows so draining that a fracture occurs. Perhaps a disloyalty, exposing the limited essence of affection she viewed as boundless. Perhaps weariness so deep she can't uphold the facade longer. Perhaps merely duration, the build-up of ingested terms and hidden realities hitting vital volume. Regardless of trigger, an instant arrives where she grasps she negotiated her being, trading soul fragments for approval never genuinely given. This insight doesn't resemble release initially, it resembles descent. All she formed self upon exposes as built on others' requirements over her reality. The dutiful offspring, always favoring kin, learns she upheld a kin setup, needing her vanishing to operate. The tolerant partner, never objecting, acknowledges she facilitated conduct she ought to have addressed years prior. The soul explorer, surpassing self-views she employed surpassing as further evasion from lived genuineness. Jung portrayed this as the conjunctio, the mystical union, the blending of contrasts inside one mind. During this level, female merges Eve, Helen, and Mary, yet she escapes the restricting bounds of each. She uncovers what Jung termed the animus, her inner male aspect, not as external to pursue in others, but as personal ability for judgment, choice, sharpness, the blade of honesty. Spinoza instructed that liberty arises via comprehension. When she grasps the hereditary origins of her mental captivity, she frees self from the urge to satisfy, to aid, or to be revered per outside measures. See what alters. She halts seeking approval, not theatrically, not via declarations. She merely ceases referencing the fictional panel once ruling each selection. Ought I express this? Might they distress? How will they view me? Such inquiries, once immobilizing her, forfeit influence, since she placed authority's origin within self. She merges her animus rather than casting it on paternal images, male companions, or bodies vowing to reason for her. This merging doesn't involve turning male. That's frequent error. It involves turning complete. She accesses reception and declaration, instinct and reasoning, care and limit, establishment, gentleness and firmness, and selects which to apply per personal evaluation of circumstance, not per what maintains others at ease with her. The horror this stirs in surrounding individuals can't be exaggerated, since they observe the failure of their capacity to foresee and direct her. In Eve level, they knew she'd forfeit self for kin. In Helen level, they knew she yearned their endorsement. In Mary level, they knew she'd select calm over honesty. But in wisdom, every such handle fails. She could select forfeit, but solely if matching her principles. She could regard their view, but it ceases defining her value. She could select calm, but not costing her wholeness. This explains her risk label, not for assaulting anyone, for ceasing availability to misuse disguised as affection. She turns what Jung termed a reflector of group darkness. Her mere existence exposes the splitting of surrounding people. Individuals dwelling in self-disloyalty can't endure proximity to one ceasing self-disloyalty. It compels them to face personal settlements, personal quiets, personal ingested realities. This reflecting role isn't one she plans or enacts. It's automatic outcome of her merged condition. Jung knew that hidden content in one individual activates matching hidden content in another. When standing near someone existing from genuine core, all in you misaligned with personal core starts shaking uneasily. The self-segments disavowed, aspirations forsaken, honesties declined to utter. Everything ascends to top, requiring recognition. For certain, this sparks interest and start of personal trek. For others, it sparks fury. The fury of one compelled to view what they've labored to ignore. And since admitting fury stems from personal, unexperienced existence proves too hurtful, they cast it upon her. She turns the issue. She's overly strong, excessive too hard, the exact traits rendering her merged. Her denial to split self to calm others turn proof of her flaw in their tale. Alan Watts discussed the societal contest, the detailed stage where all consent to specific courteous myths. She quit engaging. She quit feigning that harshness equals gentleness when given with grin. Quit feigning that dominance equals concern when cloaked in worry. Quit feigning that desertion equals liberty when defended by sole terms. And via denying to uphold these staged bonds based on ease over genuineness, she compels all nearby to either arouse or withdraw. Consider daily appearance. A kin assembly where all enact designated parts. The harmony smoother eases strains. The favored offspring gets acclaim. The blame taker soaks fault. Season after season, identical text. But then a single individual quits reciting lines. She avoids generating conflict. She merely utters an honest item over anticipated item. The full show stops since such kin setups don't operate on honesty. They operate on consented myth. One individual's denial to join exposes the falseness of entire setup. This defines what they imply, labeling her risky. She ruined the deceptions upholding their bonds, not from spite, but for inability to join without splitting self. And this compels all nearby to confront personal darknesses, personal involvement, personal dependence on cozy illusions. Majority will opt to fault her, over-appreciate her for this undesired honesty offering. Jung knew projection serves to evade personal gloom. We spot in others what we deny admitting in self. Thus, when labeling her controlling, what they dread is her denial to be controlled. When labeling her egoistic, what horrifies them is her self-ownership. When they label her distant, what they can't bear is her sharpness, her reluctance to enact feeling work, serving their ease, costing her wholeness. The risk they sense in her actually is risk they sense from personal unexperienced existences, personal ingested fury, personal unspoken honesties. She shifted from item to agent. This marks the vital change. Across prior levels, she existed somehow as item in others' tales. The parent in kin narrative, the charm in male view, the holy in group's ethical story. But in wisdom, she turns composer of personal narrative. She dwells what Jung termed the self, that surpassing role coordinating every personality facet around genuine existence core over flexible enactment. Spinoza instructed that majority people exist enslaved to emotions and outside origins they fail to grasp. But via insight, via truly grasping the links of origin and results shaping us, we may attain what he termed rational affection of divinity, a condition of deep liberty and calm. This occurs in wisdom level. She grasps her shaping. She views how maternal injuries formed her, how paternal lack etched designs, how societal tales composed texts she obeyed without inquiry. And via viewing origins, she obtains ability to select varied results. This avoids implying she turns immune to hurt. What's cautioned versus soul, greed of viewing awakening as endless joy. She yet senses profoundly, maybe deeper than prior since she ceases dulling self, but she ceases equating with hurt. She may sense sorrow absent equating sorrow, sense wrath absent wrath devouring, sense dread absent permitting it to command selections. This marks wisdom's rule, the ability to hold varieties without splitting. Her bonds alter drastically. Those desiring dominance over her discover zero to seize. She provides attendance, sincerity, true concern, but never self-desertion. Those desiring her to rescue them from personal existences learn she refuses. Those desiring her to affirm their sufferer tales discover she views them too sharply for that. But those prepared for genuineness, who crave honesty as she does, uncover in her an attendance quality scarce and valuable. She turns leader not via instruction, but via existence. Her merged condition summons the merging chance in others. Jung discussed the differentiated individual as one separated from group, not via angry denial, but via aware selection. She joins group existence, but from spot of personal alertness over hidden sameness. She may join societal contest when fitting, but she recognizes she's engaging. This recognition alters all. She ceases being owned by parts she enacts. She's the alertness selecting to enact or avoid them. A deep isolation exists in this level at times since she can't unlearn known. She can't revert to unconscious ease, even when awareness weighs. She positions where she views both contest and participants. and majority participants avoid such clear viewing. They desire her to participate in joint trance, and her denial, her soft but unyielding denial, labels her as different, as risky, as the one shattering the enchantment. Yet this isolation holds odd fellowship. She's solitary with self in manner never prior, and learns self-merits companionship. Jung discussed differentiation process as finally a bond with self, that surpassing role knowing beyond ego knowledge, that directs from abysses the aware mind scarcely senses. She masters hearing this deeper insight, trusting the insight surfacing from merged existence over nervous computations of split ego attempting security. The contradiction lies that via embracing this core aloneness, she turns more able of true link than previously, since she ceases clutching others to finish what's unfinished in self. She's not seeking individual to render her valued, to affirm her being, to grant allowance to occupy room. She already fills self completely. Thus, when linking to others, it's from excess over deficit, from true curiosity over frantic bond. But calm also resides in this isolation, surpassing the fake link of prior levels, since she ceases being isolated from self. She located self. She recognizes self. She relies on self. The outside affirmation she desired in Helen, the position safety she pursued in Eve, the ethical assurance she seized in Mary. Every these marked efforts to sense inward what she lacked developing inside. But wisdom requires no outside finish. She suffices in self. This avoids meaning. She lacks wanting bond, group affection, but she wants it from completeness, not deficit. Alan Watts portrayed the timeless now, how we exist in timeless current, that our thoughts split into history and tomorrow. At wisdom level, she dwells this current fuller. She ceases ensnared in history shaping her, mechanically duplicating designs in hidden try to settle ancient injuries. She ceases forfeiting the current for imagined tomorrow, where she'll ultimately suffice, ultimately receive affection, ultimately secure. She's present, completely present, with every mark and every power. This attendance perhaps ranks as what seems most risky to those yet escaping self. The female in wisdom embraces the risky tag, since she grasps it never concerned her. It always concerned others, dread of forfeiting dominance over her being. She grew baffling to those able solely to grasp her via utility lens. What utility holds a female unable to be faulted, embarrassed, or lured into self? Disloyalty. What utility holds a female viewing through control, labeling disorder, denying to bear others' darknesses as personal? For frameworks constructed on female self-forfeit, she ranks risky truly. But for those set to arouse, she fulfills alternate role. Jung discussed the differentiated individual as possessing an activating impact on others' hidden content. Merely proximity to her often stimulates in others whatever really is most to surface into awareness. For certain, this marks personal craving for genuineness. For others, it's fury at her denial to remain minor. Both responses offer data. Both mark chances for awareness if the individual wills to examine revealed. Her inheritance doesn't lie in instructed, but in embodied. She confirmed to self and shows to others that merging the battling psyche segments is feasible. To respect both gloom and glow, to exist from genuine existence over flexible enactment. She displays that enduring the demise of who you were instructed to exist and birth into true self is possible. This threatens each body and bond constructed on obedience, and it frees each spirit set to hazard known ease for genuine honesty. Spinoza composed that the liberated individual considers nothing below demise, not for recklessness, but for existing so completely that demise forfeits ability to frighten them into unexperienced existences. The female in wisdom endured numerous demises. The demise of every false identity, every adjustment, every facade, and via perishing to non-self, she revived to true self. This vitality, this denial to slumber exist, this demand on awareness, even amid painful awareness, this marks what they tag risky. She now grasps that risk forms a linked concept. To a framework needing unawareness, awareness ranks risky. To bonds requiring self-disloyalty, wholeness ranks risky. To kin requiring blame takers, recovery ranks risky. Thus, when naming her risky, she interprets it as proof that she's ultimately on correct route. The route Jung labeled differentiation. The route Watts labeled arousing. The route Spinoza portrayed as shifting from captivity to liberty via insight. And see what she grasps that they lack. This road opens to any set to traverse it. It lacks reservation for exceptional or selected. It forms the inherent right of each person to turn into true self below strata of shaping, injury, and adjustment. But majority avoid traversing it. Majority select known captivity over unknown liberty. Majority fault her for displaying the entrance they dread too much to cross. And she mastered accepting this with empathy over bitterness, since she recalls personal trek. She recalls the horror of releasing each built identity. She recalls the sorrow of failing individuals she cherished by denying to exist as needed. She recalls the dizziness of positioning in personal power post-lifetime of yielding to others. She avoids desiring the simple route on anyone since she grasps simple route guides nowhere. But she also can't feign the hard route lacks value in traversing. Thus she persists as quiet summons. Not preaching, not persuading, not attempting to rescue any from selected unawareness. Merely existing completely, genuinely existing. And for those possessing vision to view, her being murmurs a chance, that you also might cease enacting, that you also might merge your gloom, that you also might hazard the risk of turning actual, that you also might uncover that soul item riskier than risky label is expending full existence secure via minor. This marks the peak level, not endpoint, but existence manner, not flawlessness, but completeness, not struggles close, but close of struggle versus self. She yet confronts trials, yet errs, yet meets individuals in scenarios testing her, but she confronts them from merged core over split obedience. And this creates every distinction. This marks the female tagged risky. This marks wisdom. This marks what they dreaded and what you maybe grow into. If this examination unlocked something within you, if you spotted self in these levels or sensed the draw to personal merging, express your ideas under and remain with this trek. Like this, if it resonated, and subscribe to Wake and Win, because we'll persist charting awareness realms that majority dread entering. But every us receives summons to investigate. The differentiation route lacks end. It coils further, and per coil exposes fresh honesty strata meriting uncovering.